Hello and welcome to the channel. If you will, please give this video a like, and if you are new here, subscribe now. Because after this story you will definitely crave more. In today's frightening bear attack, we journey to the Canadian wilderness in an area known as the Alberta Rockies. This is a very lush environment with water and food resources being very abundant. The beautiful scenery brings in visitors from all walks of life, whether it being humans or animals. This area is remote and has some of the oldest forests, with black blue lakes and numerous rivers. The ecosystem is filled with life. The animals here, such as sheep, elk, and moose, make it a desired location for all hunters alike, from predators like wolves, black bears, and grizzly bears, to the person of interest in today's video, Jeremy Evans. A skilled hunter had his eyes set on the sheep in the area. He knew that this time of year they would be abundant, so he planned a one-man trip to the Alberta Rockies. He grabbed a backpack and filled it with all of the necessary supplies needed, including nutrition bars, a ham sandwich, Nutella, and a 32-ounce bottle of water. He then told his daughter, son, and wife about the trip and that he was leaving that morning, so they wished him good luck. Jeremy then loaded his backpack and 12-gauge shotgun and drove deep into the remote area of the Alberta Rockies. Once arriving, Jeremy unloaded his supplies and ventured into the forests, walking nearly 120 kilometers to a sheep hotspot. After reaching his desired destination, Jeremy took out his sandwich, Nutella, and water, and decided to take a quick break. While eating, Jeremy noticed a small fuzzy ball in the corner of his left eye. Jeremy didn't think nothing of it, concluding it must have been just a rabbit or something, so he continued eating. About 20 minutes after Jeremy had spotted the fuzzy ball, a roughly 400-pound grizzly bear sow popped up out of the brush nearby. It roared very loudly, scaring the heck out of Jeremy. Jeremy, who had remembered the saying, "If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down," decided it would be a good idea to play dead. Even though he thought this would work, the bear still immediately rushed over to him and proceeded to claw his face, and nearly ripped it off completely. Then the bear stood over Jeremy for a minute. At this instance, Jeremy knew that playing dead was not the way to go. So he grabbed and squeezed the closest part of the bear's flesh he could, and twisted until the bear yelped. It had let out a sound similar to a screeching pig. After the unpleasant feeling of discomfort, the bear quickly stumbled off back into the brush. Now Jeremy, with a partially ripped-off face, got up and frantically searched for his backpack and shotgun. He found his shotgun and proceeded to load 3 rounds into it. Before Jeremy could even cock a bullet into the chamber, the large bear had returned. It instantly rushed over and knocked Jeremy onto his back. It began to try to bite Jeremy's face, but he pushed his hand deep into its mouth and extended his middle finger. The bear then let out the same pig-like squeal and ran off into the bushes again. And by this time, Jeremy could barely move, so he dragged himself to his backpack, which took what seemed like forever to find. He reached in it, grabbed his phone, and took a selfie, immediately sending it and a message reading, "I love you," to his wife. Shortly after, the bear reappeared, and this time it looked more aggressive and fed up as ever. It quickly approached Jeremy, then slammed him onto the ground face first, and started to rip off the remaining piece of Jeremy's face. After a short burst of adrenaline, Jeremy gathered up enough strength to grab another soft piece of flesh on the bear and squeezed as hard as he possibly could. The bear ran into the forest again. After this attack, Jeremy's face was completely unrecognizable, and his left eye was now hanging out of its socket. By this time, Jeremy was sure that he wouldn't survive. After finding his shotgun, Jeremy sat the butt of the gun on the ground with the barrel in his face and pulled the trigger. But nothing happened. So Jeremy inspected the shotgun. But while doing this, the thoughts of, how will my family know what happened to me, and how will they find my body, arose in his mind. He then somehow managed to walk the 120 kilometers back to his car, with the backpack on his back and shotgun on his shoulder. After reaching his car, Jeremy drove about 30 minutes until he reached the nearest form of civilization, where he was met with a concerned family. Jeremy, being a Canadian, did not ask for help, but then, being the Canadians they are, they felt it was required to help. They called an ambulance and tended to Jeremy until they arrived. Once the ambulance arrived, they gave Jeremy a couple of painkillers and loaded him onto a stretcher and rushed to the hospital in the area just a few blocks away. After the doctors noticed the gruesome condition Jeremy was in, they immediately got to work. Jeremy's whole face was reconstructed by using the parts of his face that were ripped off. About 3 weeks later, Jeremy was told that he can go back home to his worried family. Upon noticing Jeremy, they were distraught but were caring and open-minded, given the situation. With everything that he had been through, it was time to put it aside and let bygones be bygones. It is unclear what happened to the bear after this vicious attack out in the Alberta Rockies, but it is clear as to why the bear attacked Jeremy. Bears are not friendly when it comes to their young, and this attack was a testament to the heights they will go to protect them. And with this story in mind, I have a few questions for you. Do you think that bears are overpowered in the wilderness? How many humans do you think it would take to defeat a fully grown grizzly bear that is about 400 pounds? And would you rather go up against a bear with a 4-inch knife, bear spray, or a 9mm pistol with 4 rounds in it? Let us know your answers in the comments section down below, and we will be extremely glad to meet you there. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that everyone you know will get to hear an amazing story, and you never miss out on more. Thanks for watching, and remember to be safe out there in bear country.